Welcome to Classical 95.9 WCRI's Conducting Conversations with your host, Mike Mano. 1 hour of music and conversation with notable people in the arts, bringing you the stories of how music has impacted their lives. The show will give a behind-the-scenes look at the guest's background, interests, or special project.
Conducting Conversations is brought to you by Roberts Musical Instruments. From sheet music and brand name instruments to rentals, repairs, lessons, and more. Roberts Musical Instruments is your key to musical success. Call 823-5459. That's 823-5459.
And now here's your host, Mike Mano.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Conducting Conversations. I'm Mike Mano. Very pleased to be sitting with representatives of the Kingston Chamber Music Festival. And Anna is here. She is the communications coordinator. We'll also have on the phone with us is the artistic director of the festival. Natalie is back again for many times. Natalie, I don't know how many times. What would your guess be? How many appearances you've made on this program over the years?
I can't remember. Probably 5 times.
Wow. Okay. So you're a veteran now. 5 times qualifies you as a veteran on Conducting Conversations. The festival is coming up in 5 or 6 weeks. Anna, tell us about the dates of the festival so we can get people in the right frame of mind.
We kick off Wednesday, July 23rd and go through Sunday, August 3rd. We have 6 concerts and 1 bonus concert, as well as some other exciting programming such as a panel conversation and some mini recitals. But everything happens between Wednesday, July 23rd and Sunday, August 3rd.
And if they'd like to get information about that, there's a great website to go to.
We have a brand new website, Mike. It's very exciting. We just launched our new website a few weeks ago. You can check it out at kingstonchambermusic.org. You can learn more about each concert's programming, as well as artists coming, and more.
Excellent. Now, Natalie, where are you sitting right now when you're talking on the phone, talking to us? What state are you in?
I'm at home. I live in Narberth, which is 15 minutes away from Center City in Philadelphia. So I'm in Pennsylvania right now.
Pennsylvania. All right. We're glad we're able to connect. We had a few technical problems setting this up, but it seems to be resolved at this point. We apologize to the audience if there's any difference in the audio, but I think the important thing is that we have Natalie with us. And let's go back in time a little bit, Natalie. How did this all start for you? When did you first get involved with the Kingston Chamber?
I believe I visited the festival many, many years ago while the founder of the festival, David Kim, a violinist who started the festival. I believe it was sometime in 2005. That was my, actually, honeymoon summer. So David invited me and my husband, who is a violist in the Philadelphia Orchestra. I had a wonderful time. It really felt like a family while I was there in the festival. So this festival is really very special to me and my family.
All right. So that was a while ago. And so it was an actual honeymoon event, not just a honeymoon for the festival, but a real honeymoon, right?
I believe so. It was right after my wedding.
All right. Well, that does make it special. Now, since then, you've increased the size of your family from just you and your husband. Is that correct?
Yes, we have a daughter whose name is Clara Chen. She is 15 years old now. While I was running my first year at the festival as an artistic director, I was 8 months pregnant. So I was playing concerts, and she was inside of me. So for her, I believe she was with the festival from the very beginning. And in fact, we have a new theme this summer. It's called From Coast to Cadence. And this theme is originally came up from her. It just because she grew up attending, KCMF concerts for so many years. I feel like this is really very special location, as well as performances from all the musicians and overall the local community. If you like, I can actually read the meaning behind this theme. What do you think, Mike?
That sounds like a great idea, certainly.
Okay. All right. So she said, while coast, the word coast, is often associated with a landform near the sea, it can also describe effortlessness and fluidity. And she also said, the festival embodies both meanings of the word as musicians come together to enjoy making music with one another in Kingston. This blends with the theme's reference to a musical cadence, a full or partial resolution of harmony or melody. In the case of KZMF, the resolution here is the ultimate connection musicians build with each other and the community through music.
Wow, that's all from your daughter. That's pretty amazing. All right, well,
only 15 years old, so you can guess how much this festival means to her.
Yeah.
And she is coming this summer.
Okay. So she'll be there, and people will have the chance to meet the creator of Where Coast Meets Cadence. All right. We're going to get to some music in just a moment. I want to make sure that we have all the details about where the festival is. I'm not sure you mentioned that, Anna. Where the festival is.
I did not mention that. No, our 6 festival concerts are held at URI's Edwards Hall on the Kingston campus of the University of Rhode Island. We have one bonus concert off campus this year held at the Jamestown Arts Center. That is a much smaller venue, so if you want tickets, you should get them soon because it will definitely sell out. But our 6 main concerts will be held at Edwards Hall at the University of Rhode Island.
Excellent. All right. Natalie, let's get to our first piece of music. I believe this is a trout piece that you are planning.
Yes, is a very cheerful piece, and I just want to talk a little bit about the 4th movement of the Trout Quintet, which you're about to hear. This composition was originally written, actually the trout meaning is actually for a voice and piano. It's an art song based on a poem of Christian Friedrich Daniel Schubert. It tells the story of a happy trout swimming in a stream, which is eventually caught by a cooning fisherman, an allegory for innocent being tricked. So this song was so popular, and one of his Schubert's patron, a very wealthy amateur cellist, really wanted Schubert to compose a chamber music piece, which is for piano, violin, viola, cello, and double bass. It's a really unusual instrumentation. So the 4th movement is basically, the whole movement is based on the trout theme. But instead of the repeated lyric, Schubert transformed this beautiful theme into different variations. And actually, we are going to present this on our concert number 3. Our favorite pianist, Henry Kramer, will be playing on piano for this piece. So at this moment, you can enjoy the 4th movement of the piano quintet, the Trout.
All right, we'll listen to that, then take a short break and be back with much more. The Kingston Chamber Music Festival is the subject of tonight's Conducting Conversations. I'm Mike Mano, very pleased to be sitting with Anna Gray, the communications coordinator for the festival. Anna is right here in the studio with me, and with us by phone is Natalie Zhu, who is the artistic director. And let's go back to you, Anna, and pick up where we left off. There was this last piece of music. Is going to be played, and you said program number 3?
Yeah, concert 3 on July 27th at Edwards Hall at the University of Rhode Island. It's going to be a great piece. Natalie mentioned that Henry Kramer is coming back. He came last summer for his debut summer, so this is his second season with us. He is an absolute delight to watch perform. He's a really engaging musician, and he's going to be performing with an absolutely exceptional group. We have Jasmine Lin, Chae-Hung Chen, Clancy Newman, and Nathan Farrington. And I was just talking to Henry on Monday, and he was talking about how excited he is to come play with them. It's going to be a great group.
Sounds like it's going to be a great time, and all this right down the road from our studio at URI. That's terrific. And if you want to get tickets, you should visit the website as soon as possible and get those tickets, because you never know. Sometimes they can be sold out, and you want to make sure you get in there and support this great festival. All right, let's go on with the program and talk about what's coming up next. Do you want to talk about these pieces of music, or do you want to turn this over to Natalie?
I think Natalie can begin, and then I'll pick up where she leaves off.
All right, Natalie, go ahead. Talk about these next 2 pieces that we're going to play one right after the other.
The next 2 pieces, they're very short. You're going to hear these 2 pieces written by Johannes Brahms. It's called the 2 Songs for Voice, Viola, Piano. These are beautiful and intimate set of composition, which he composed between 1884 and 1885. And the set is really notable for its unusual instrumentation. It's for mezzo-soprano, viola, and piano. The title of the first song is called Stilled Longing, which expresses earthly longing, desire for peace, and lost love. And the second one is called a Sacred Lullaby, offers a sacred answer, a vision of rest, peace, and divine comfort. So these 2 songs actually function as a spiritually and emotionally complementary. It's almost like you're asking in the first song, and the second you got an answer. So it is a super beautiful set, which you will be able to hear live at the Kingston Chamber Music Festival on Concert 2, which is on July. Well, Anna, you might have to help me.
Yeah,
here.
that's Friday. So concert 2 is Friday, July 25th at 7:30. As Natalie was saying, you can come here. So we have actually a mezzo-soprano coming all the way from New Zealand this summer. Her name is Katie Trigg. She's phenomenal. I have actually never heard a vocalist at KCMF before, so I am very excited, and I love that artistic director Natalie Zhu does this. She always has something new and exciting, so I'm really excited. Like I said, she's coming all the way from New Zealand for this. It's Friday, July 25th at 7:30, and also before that concert, we have our Young Artist mini recital at 6:30, which is really exciting. It's become a highlight of the festival for people to hear these rising, talented young artists. So we have a 14 or 15-year-old cellist named Julie Chen coming, so that's going to be a great night. Make sure you come to the mini recital at 6:30 and then come to the concert at 7:30, and you can hear our mezzo-soprano from New Zealand, Katie Trigg.
Excellent. Let's listen to those 2 pieces, then we'll take another break and be back with more. The Kingston Chamber Music Festival, subject of tonight's Conducting Conversations. And we are talking with Natalie Zhu, who is the artistic director, and Anna Gray, the communications coordinator. I'm Mike Mano, very pleased to be sitting with these very talented young ladies and finding out everything we want to know about the festival, which starts in just a few weeks at URI. So, Anna, fill us in with a lot more detail.
Excellent. Well, we're going to talk about the first concert Wednesday, July 23rd at 7:30. In a few minutes, you're going to hear a piece from Astor Piazzolla. So in the first concert, July 23rd, 7:30, Edwards Hall, get your tickets now. We are going to be performing a piece by Astor Piazzolla that has actually been arranged by one of the performers, Alexei Alexandrov, who will be playing Damra for the piece. But he also arranged the piece, and I am super excited to hear his arrangement of it. I think when you hear music that has been either composed by the people performing it or arranged by the people performing it, you get a different experience. The musicians are just a little more invested in it in a different way. It's a really phenomenal group of musicians playing that piece. So definitely you do not want to miss that. The night, so the opening concert on July 23rd, we are calling it a celebration of Latinx music because the whole program has music that in some way is celebrating the sort of connection between Latin American culture and classical music. Also included that night, we have a piece by Marvin Camacho, who is one of Latin America's leading composers. He is from Costa Rica, and he wrote this piece, 7 Haikus. It was originally a solo piano piece, but the duo who's coming to perform, Hashi Duo, also it's a pianist and a guitarist, and they actually got in contact with Mr. Camacho and asked him to add a guitar part, and he did just for them. And they're going to come perform it in Kingston. Yeah, just, you know what, why not? That's also a really interesting piece. And we have a new podcast this summer. The Kingston Chamber Music Festival has released a podcast called Kingston Notes. You can get it on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And in one episode, it's the second episode we released, I have a conversation with the two performers who make up Hashi Duo. And we're talking about this piece and sort of the connection to Latin American culture. So make sure you check that out before you come to the concert.
Now who might be the host of
I don't know, Mike. Who might be the host of that?
It is you.
It is me, indeed. Yes. One of the reasons I wanted to start the podcast was because I feel like every summer I have these really great conversations with musicians and composers and with artistic director Natalie Zhu. And I always think I should not be the only one having these conversations. So I just decided I would start recording them and you can all tune in. And I think it will enhance your listening experience, especially if you listen before coming to one of the concerts. You'll get to hear more context about the program and also hear directly from musicians. Super excited about that. Check it out. Again, Kingston Notes on podcast, Apple Podcasts and Spotify. But I also wanted to mention, so we have this sort of Latin American theme to our first concert, and that is tying into our free panel conversation on July 31st at 7 in Edwards Hall. We're going to have a great lineup of speakers. We have 3 musicians, a conductor, and someone from the Puerto Rican Arts Advocacy Organization in Rhode Island, and they're going to be talking about sort of the connection between their culture and music, and I think that's going to be great. And again, that's free, so I hope you join us.
All right. So have we covered all the events now?
at least for that first concert, we have a lot going on this summer. But yeah, I think if Natalie could talk a little bit about this piece that you're going to hear next, that would be great.
Well, I just want to make sure we get everything in. So the rest of the events that are happening this summer, this is your chance. Other than that, once Natalie starts talking about the music, we're going to go to the music and we're going to be done. So what else do you want to say? Anything else about the rest of the events this summer?
Yeah, I think we have a few new offerings. So as I mentioned before, one of the other pieces, we have our 3rd annual Young Artist Mini Recital, which has been a big highlight for people. They like hearing from these sort of young and rising musicians. But we also have a few pre-concert offerings. We have a few Q&As with artists before concerts, and we also have the URI Summer Music Academy doing a students showcase. So we have been building our relationship with them over the last few years, and we have the musicians who come to the festival, many of whom are widely acclaimed and, Grammy nominees and all this stuff, doing lessons, master classes with these students. So they're working together and learning from these, the students are learning from these musicians. And then there's going to be 2 different showcases that you can come to before concerts, which is going to be really exciting. So
excellent. Always good to get the information about what's going on ahead of time, so you don't go, what's happening here?
Yeah, and again, all of this is on our website, kingstonchambermusic.org. Make sure you check it out. As I mentioned, it's a new website. We're really excited about it. I think it really presents our vision for who we want to be as an arts organization in the Ocean State in particular really well. We designed that with a local web designer. So yeah, make sure you check that out.
Sounds great. Anna, thanks for all the information. And now we're going to go to Natalie by telephone and tell us about this last piece of music that we're going to hear today.
This last piece is very exciting, very energetic. It's written by Astor Piazzolla. This is the first and perhaps most dynamic movement of his 4 seasons of Buenos Aires. It's called Summer in Buenos Aires. So this whole composition, the 4 season, is a series of tango-inspired composition that reflect the moods and rhythms of life in Argentina's capital. But this summer, we're going to get the same mood and rhythm of life, but instead of Argentina, it's going to be Kingston, Rhode Island.
Almost the same.
So we're very excited. I hope you enjoy the piece, and hopefully you can come to hear a live version of this particular piece arranged by one of our Domra players. So it's going to be very, very unusual. I've never heard Domras playing this piece, so personally I'm very excited and looking forward to the summer.
Anna, thanks once again for being here and giving us all this great information, but I think there's so much information that would be good if you recapped everything. Let's go concert by concert.
We open Wednesday, July 23rd at 7:30 p.m. with a concert titled A Celebration of Latinx Music. Next, join us on Friday, July 25th at 7:30 for a collection of songs. On Sunday, July 27th at 4 p.m., we have Trout. Wednesday, July 30th at 7:30 p.m., we have A Night of Stark Contrast. If that title does not intrigue you, I don't know what will. Friday, August 1st, we have Natalie's Playlist. And Sunday, August 3rd, we have Celebrating 37 Years of Musical Excellence. You can't forget our special concert, the bonus concert on Saturday, July 26th at 4. We also have the panel conversation on July 31st at 7. We offer open rehearsals on Saturdays. That's July 26th and August 2nd from 9:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. You can come to Edwards Hall to watch the musicians rehearse. And then, like I said before, make sure you check out our website because we do have a few sort of pre-concert special offerings with artist Q&As and things like that. All of that information is on our website. And before I close, I just wanted to say a special thank you to Belmont Market and the University of Rhode Island for being our festival sponsors. They have supported us for years, and it's really wonderful that they keep doing that. And also the Matunic Oyster Bar, they are sponsoring our podcast, Kingston Notes. So thank you to them as well.
And how do you find the podcast again?
You can look for Kingston Notes on either Apple Podcasts or Spotify. We also have it linked on our website.
Kingston Notes.
Kingston Notes.
Notes.
Yes.
All right. That's great. Thanks, Anna. Appreciate all the information. And as an added bonus this year, are you going to be in the lobby or something? Can people come and get your autograph now that you're a famous podcaster?
Sure can, yeah.
All right. So that, and you can get to meet Natalie's daughter, hopefully, at one of the concerts or more. And Natalie, I hope your daughter will enjoy the trip out here. And sounds like you're going to have a very talented young musician on your hands.
Well, you never know.
As a proud mama, you're supposed to say, absolutely, she's going to be the greatest. Well, anyway, thank you both again for being here, and we look forward to the Kingston Chamber Music Festival. Conducting Conversations was brought to you by Roberts Musical Instruments, using music in the arts to keep your child educated, entertained, and having fun. Roberts Musical Instruments is your key to musical success. Call 823-5459. That's 823-5459.